is. He's being active.
Area we're going to be cruising around. But we're going to be getting underway here, heading out south down here in the Banana River area. We're going to be kind of hugging along the shoreline. Very safe, very protected route we got. But a couple safety things to go over. In the unlikely event we got some kind of an emergency, we need to leave the boat. We got more than enough life jackets for everybody. These are simple horseshoe collar type, just go right around your neck. Single strap that goes around the back. And if we did have to depart the vessel, we'd go right up the front as you came on.
So if you could put on a mask and snorkel, you could look underneath for scuba. Look underneath and you'd see all kinds of animals. That is a cormorant. Some use it as a place to build a nest and to have a family before moving on. Pelicans especially. There's a wildlife sanctuary down near Sebastian. It's an island. It was the very first sanctuary in the United States, about 1906. President Teddy Roosevelt started that there because we were killing all the birds by shooting them. They were so easy. So they were protected. They still nest on that island south of us. So here you see a good shot of this. That's quite a biodiversity area. If you don't have that, you have to pile up rock or build a seawall. Now that rock is called coquina. It is a limestone, but you know what? It's just all crushed shells that Mother Nature crushed on the beach for millenniums. Rocks grow from the shore, and then they'll start growing. That's all the reef started. These were just sand pits one day. Mother Nature, all the storms around here thousands of years ago. Man might have done it too, because they built all these areas that are passing by now, like Red. So here you see examples of the wooden seawalls. Cement seawall, wooden seawall. Not only do you have to have banks and own a house in paradise, you gotta keep up your dock and your seawall where you can do this sort of stuff. Last year during the blossom, raccoons, tortoises, snakes. So, down here low we have a great blue heron. They're coming back as well. They're here all year round, but a lot of them come back now to nest. We're going to go by a nest of one of them. That is a male. You see that black feather coming off the back of his head, and he's got all that chest hair now because, so here we have all the brown pelicans. The ones that have white heads are, you can get up, move around, come up here, goes old yet. You see, of course, that's their, they've been sitting there roosting so long. That's the guano or the poop that comes out of them. But this is a resting stop for these water birds. It's fishing. So you see all different types of homes here because they were built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and people would modify them or tear them down and build their own little palaces. Now you're on the Space Coast. I understand this house was or may still be owned by a retired astronaut. So you do have astronauts in the area. My wife was getting a shot at Walgreens a month ago, and in walks a 93-year-old gentleman, bent over a bit, sat next to her, got the same shot. She got a conversation with him. He was a 3-star retired Air Force general, but we all knew him as a colonel. His name was Colonel Tom Stafford. He was the commander of Apollo 10. Went around the moon while John Young's gripping down to the surface.
So he lives in the area. I'm with a parish down in Satellite Beach, and sometimes I attach to the commercial.
Chris was from Pittsburgh, Indiana. I met him once.
You met him? All right. That's
I'm
great.
good friends with him.
Okay. Super.
I didn't know who he was when I first met him.
Yeah. So these islands we're looking at out here is part of the 1,000 island area. It's really not 1,000. There's about 160 of them. But if you were in amongst them, you'd think there were 1,000, unless you had a compass or a way to get out and around them. But people do go in there with their little boats and their stand-up paddle boards. And if you get on the islands to look at wildlife, I'd beware to have shoes on, because there are snakes. There are bad snakes in Florida. 3 bad ones are the eastern diamondback rattler, the coral snake, and the water moccasin. So they aren't very good. They're like America's second most common bird, because I saw them up in Alaska. I would never have thought to see them there. Not many tall trees on these islands at our starboard side, but if you look off our bow in the distance, it looks like a bunch of pine trees. Well, those pine trees are Australian pine. They're invasive species to Florida. The state of Florida would rather have you get rid of them if we could. Depends where you are. Cities choose to get rid of them. We did in Satellite Beach at a park island. And that's because the leaves on it are like these little needles, and when the needles fall to the ground, they are so acidic. They change the pH of the soil and nothing will grow. So it's just a bed of needles everywhere you look. That's great for us to walk around or camp on or sit and have a picnic. But these islands have animals on them, and they need to forage and hide. And so it's not good for the wildlife. Unless you're a bird and you want to make a nest, and they do. But if they weren't here, they'd make nests in all the other that you see there. Over by the flag there, where you see the dog and the folks working, you see he has an outdoor lamp. It looks like a dolphin with a ball on the nose. That's the way. So they're smaller than their cousins out in the ocean, and they never go to the ocean. They only live here. They only live here. And we also have manatees in this system, but it's getting pretty cold, so it's hard to find manatees. I'll explain why later, but I've always had good luck around here. You know, manatees are also called sea cows. They eat grass. They eat grass in the water. I've seen them eat grass on land. If you look up this street on the left, 2 driveways up, there's a male manatee in the grass. I know he's male because he's holding a mailbox. Now that would be a small manatee. That would be a youngster. Manatees grow 9, 10, 11 feet, 13 to 2,300 pounds. The males can get up to 3,500 pounds. Yes, sir. We got dolphin off the seawall. Front of the boat is 12 o'clock, no matter where it's pointed. The rear is 6 o'clock, so out here on port would be 9 o'clock. This would be 3 o'clock. Surface splits up. Looks like somebody invisible. And the 2 fins out of the chest area is called a pectoral fin. So there's 3 fins and a tail. The body is called fusiform. It's very stealthy, torpedo-like. I move with my glasses, it's right below the water, and it's coming right under the boat.
He's right behind us.
Mostly muscle. And they can die of hypothermia after you vomit. Trust me. Put them cold water for 10 or 15 minutes. They can have you.
Right there.
Oh my
Right
God.
there. Oh, look at him.
You got him back there?
Yeah, he's right behind.
There's 2 nostrils. You have to keep the blue and lift the
There he is.
You can kind of walk across the bottom of the river that way. They're coming at us right now. They turned around and coming back with their right eye. They're able to look 2 different ways. They have monovision, and they have a thing called binocular vision like us. They can look forward and their brain puts the 2 pictures together. So they inspect things up close separately. Their teeth are conical in shape. They have no molars, so they can't chew food. They can only cut it up, swallow it whole. About 10% of their body weight. So a manatee might be eating 8 to 10 hours a day to get enough nutrients. And because they're only eating plants, the manatees, it takes at least 7 days for that plant life to move through their gut. It's like buoyancy compensators when they're swimming in the water. Live oak trees that are 9 o'clock are called live oak in the States native. In the late 1700s. And it made all the boats and homesteaders down here. That wood is so heavy and dense and strong. It's the best wood to make a ship out of. So the first 6 frigates in the United States Navy were built the last years of the 1700s. One of them still in existence. It's in Boston Harbor. It's called the U.S. Navy designated a couple islands that they brought in Georgia in the late 1700s as only all the U.S. Navy could do a trip to. You don't get all of these trees up there at 10, 11 o'clock around the basins. They stored basins in water, and we didn't know. They stored it in the 1860s, in fact. They found some in Pensacola and the Brooklyn.
Oh, he died. Right.
Examples of that in a fish tank. They put all these oysters in there, pour all this brown, brackish water in. Within hours, it's crystal clean. Because they take in all those particles and nutrients, and they clean the water naturally. So we're trying to bring them back. They were overfished. And here's an example of how they plan on doing it. This is a park up here at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You see baskets along the seawall where that person sitting on a bench to the left of them is a storyboard that tells you about it, but they're growing mangroves in these baskets to show, hey, you can do this. Doesn't have to have sand. They're growing grasses in the baskets because farther north of here, mangroves won't grow. It's too cold. So you have grasslands up there that act as nurseries up by Jacksonville and Savannah. What you don't see are those baskets go down to the floor of the river and come out 10 feet like the shape of an L, and all the baskets are full of live oysters. And those oysters are constantly cleaning the water. And they have figured 300 feet of these will clean 90 pounds of nitrates in 1 year and 30 pounds of phosphates. Those are things we put in our yard and somehow find their way into the water column. You don't want those in the column because then you get algae blooms. Algae blooms is growth. It steals oxygen, it kills fish, doesn't allow the sun to go in, so it's not good for the grass bed. So we're doing everything we can to educate ourselves not to put those chemicals in our yards, not to drain stuff out into the river, try and keep the river clean. And now you have this project showing people here's what you can do, and you can have good habitat under the river for small fish and crabs and animals, and you're growing leaves for the manatees to eat. Now imagine if everybody had something like that right off there. What's your question? Yeah, look at all those coconuts growing there.
Look at them, bro.
You see an
You said there's
anhinga sitting on the dock there, a female,
You see them all?
really snaky head. The oysters back to the lagoon, down on the end of the island, down by these benches, and they've been putting old shells in them because when oysters in the warm summer weather let off an egg and sperm and they get together, they form a little thing called a spat, and the spat grows a little foot. It attaches there. That's where the oysters live. They tried all different things in different baskets, plastic bottles of shells. So they've been collecting old oyster shells from all the restaurants. They build these baskets, they're putting it out there, and it's bringing the oyster back. Not for us to harvest, but to help with the water quality, and in another way, it helps cut down on erosion. When the waves go by and hit the shore all the time, it can uproot plants that are growing.
Sure. Look, you missed it.
Oh, wow, he's right underneath the boat. He's running with this.
that is so cool.
Yay! It's not caught and tiny.
Literally, it's going to go.
There's two of them. Slow down. Slow down.
Yes. This is so cool. There he is. He's back.
Come on, Bree.
Awesome.
He's over there.
So besides these condos that are 12 o'clock, they're built. You see the other one on the side? So when I saw there was a male there. I saw a little bit of red and pink. That's what's going on. They're trying to mate. So you're getting quite the chance today. They can mate at any time of the year. Gestation period is about 12 to 14 months.
I'm so happy I caught that for the kids.
Oh yeah, I got some good shots.
I think some of them I went with them.
Hey, this is Rob. Just wanted to say thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share this on whatever social media platforms you're on. And we'll see you on the next one.